Hey guys, how's it going? It's Etanius here. Welcome to episode number 14 of this NHL 22 Minnesota Wild franchise mode here on my channel. If you guys have missed any episodes up to this point, head up into that top corner of the video right now. There will be a card with a link to the playlist. And if you do enjoy this episode, make sure to go down below, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the notification bell to never miss these uploads. So, today we are getting through the 2025/26 season. Last episode was titled Building a Bandwagon, and, well, when you look at the team that we have on our hands, it's pretty apparent why. It's absolutely stacked. We didn't really go, Nick Ehlers was the only forward we actually went out and acquired. Other than that, we went out and got Aaron Ekblad, who stacked our defensive core even further than it already was. And, of course, we went out and got Connor Hellebuyck, too. So, to get to some comments from last episode, first off came from Mikey BX saying, if this team doesn't win a cup next year, NHL 22 is rigged. This team is dangerous with fire emojis. So yes, I absolutely agree. We have built an absolute unit of a team here, and I am expecting to win a Stanley Cup in the next 2 to 3 episodes. So the other comment here that we got came from Kieran Sponagle, I believe. I might have said that wrong. I apologize, Kieran, but he said, I think you should go for a goalie next offseason. In my opinion, that is what this team is missing. You get great goaltending, you're definitely cup contenders. And then he commented right after going, well, you just signed Hellebuyck, LMAO. I commented this before because I didn't think you were going to get him, lol. So, yes, we did get Hellebuyck. It was a bit of a controversial move, as, Hellebuyck is not exactly what's the word? Connor Hellebuyck isn't exactly a Minnesota Wild fan favorite. So yeah, that was a bit controversial. The other comment here came from Lorraine Bunn saying, Jesus, realism not a thing around these parts then. Doesn't it get tedious constantly or continuously taking advantage of the AI to create an overpowered team? I've occasionally tried to watch your Edmonton series, ... ridiculous, but okay, it's your team. It's all good, but I'm able to do this myself. I'll be back for a look if you do something challenging. So, thank you for the comment, Lorraine. And yes, we are going to be doing something more challenging once we get these series closer to being finished. And that is going to be a Draft to Glory series. And we're going to be playing a full-blown Draft to Glory, like no trades, can only acquire picks through offer sheets and stuff like that. We're going to be doing a full proper Draft to Glory series once we wrap up the Quebec Nordique series. But that one's still well on its way. If you guys haven't checked it out, go and check that series out too. It's been a really good one. But yeah, we're getting into it today. That was pretty much it for the comments. We can now get into first off, I got to do some scouting quickly, but then we will jump into the regular season sim. Alright guys, so I'm going to advance a couple days here just because I did go and hire another scout for what was mainly the OHL region, because we just have, I believe we only have 2 scouts there, and the amount of players that exist in that region are ridiculous. So yeah, I think I scouted up to pick number 95 or so, 94, and then after that, there's just so many players missing. So yikes, yeah, we still only get down to pick number 142. That's pretty bad. Alright, so we're going to sim to the regular season. Of course, we do not care about the preseason. That was made pretty clear in one of the comments a couple episodes ago. So, we are just going to advance a couple more days here, and we will just, keep on keeping on here. So, alright, yeah, scouts are signed. I'm actually interested if there's what's going on here. Okay, elite playmaker in Kondratek. Sorry, a bit of an interesting name there, and we've got players up to pick number 7 that are going to be elite, so that's a little bit better than usual. It's a pretty top end of the draft here. I would assume that these guys are both going to be elite. Holy, 8 points in 7 games for Walters. He might be a 2-way, so that's interesting. But yeah, no, the draft class looks pretty strong up top, to say the least. And again, who knows, Renkel might end up being a decent defenseman. And I'm sure there's going to be quite a few good players in this draft. As the drafts go on, the quality just seems to get a little bit better and better each year. That's kind of what I've noticed. Every now and then there'll be a single year drop off, and then it goes right back to being strong first, second round kind of drafts. So anyways, it's too soon to judge that, but it is not too soon to judge this team's overall rating and how they're looking. So let's take a look at the team that we are currently dealing with. And, well, we've got 98 offense, 100 defense, and 86 goaltending. Easily the best Minnesota Wild team we've rostered. And I'm expecting big things here from this team this year. So when you got ratings that huge, the Sims got to treat you well. So let's see if that's the case. I'm expecting a President's Trophy, as the highest we have finished out of our first 4 seasons is 5th place. We finished 8th twice, and we haven't made it past the second round of the playoffs with this team. We have consistently been eliminated too early, in my opinion, but, it's kind of hard to control that when we're pretty much simulating every single game and series and everything like that. But let's go month by month, start working our way through it, and we're going to start off with October, where we start off with a win against the Philadelphia Flyers. Ottawa beats us just second game into the season, and then we lose to the Colorado Avalanche too. So not a great start, but then we do manage to beat Seattle, and we lose a bunch of players here to concussions and injuries, and it's not what you want to see to start off the season. So we get Matthew Boldy back, thank God, because he was 7 points in 4 games to start off the season. These guys are all looking like they are going to be on pace for big years. So that's what we like to see. That's what I am expecting from this team this year, especially with the roster that we currently have in our lineup. But I think this team is going to do fabulous as long as they can kind of hold it together. For a backup goalie, Jesper Wallsted's looking fantastic. So, anyways, here we go. We go pretty decent for the month of October. They're going 6-1-1 to start it off. It's about as solid a month as you can have, only losing 2 games. But let's see if November is going to treat us nearly as well. I kind of get the feeling it's not, but it's going to be kind of hard to judge that until we actually make it through the month. So we're going to swap Shaffy for Silverberg here because, Silverberg is a first-round pick, 23rd overall. And what has he done? Not much. He's grown what was he when we drafted him? He must have been a 65 overall. He's a 63 overall, so he hasn't even grown 10 ratings in the span of 2 years. So Oscar Silverberg's going to have to step it up, or we very well might just trade him. So it's unfortunate when players don't develop properly, but again, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. So, of course, we've got guys like Fistrick and Par Eriksson, who we definitely want to pay attention to. I mean, Graham Sword could be a underdog shoe-in to make the team next year, but we also get Magnus Sundin back, who's another name that I would recommend you guys pay attention to, especially based on the fact that, he is a low elite defenseman as well. I mean, probably not going to turn out to be anything too special, but we start off the month with 2 losses. Ouch. Okay, we finally get a win there against the LA Kings, then we beat the Oilers 5-4, and then Arizona, and then we lose 2 in a row to Nashville and Chicago. We lose Matthew Boldy again with another MCL strain. He is having a rough season right now, but we win 3 in a row, then lose 1 to Anaheim. And we lose Magnus Oduya to concussion as well. So not nearly as good a second month of the season, as we only win 7 more games and we lose, another 5? So yeah, it was a bit of a rough month here to start off in November, but Marco Rossi is getting assists at a crazy rate right now. 24 assists in 21 games. Matvei Michkov, 19 goals in 21 games. How about that for a shooter? I mean, he can put the puck in the net, and we all know that. Jagger Foligno as well is looking like an absolute unit. You love to see it, and when he's on a rookie contract, that's why we can have guys like Ekblad, who isn't really contributing all that well, to be completely honest, and Nick Ehlers, who has been better, and, Connor Hellebuck hasn't actually been that hot. He's already lost 5 out of 9 games. So yeah, I get the feeling this team is going to turn it around here pretty quickly once we get Boldy and Oduya back, and I think that, we could really turn this team into a unit here. I think, does Boldy come back in a day? He does indeed, but we lose Morgan Moy. I would like Matthew Boldy back. I guess not. Okay, so we're going to simulate through December now. It's been a below average start to the year in the first 2 months for this team, but I know we can get it going here, and it's really going to be just a matter of time before this team starts pumping out wins at a crazy rate. So let's continue simulating here. I mean, obviously we are certainly missing Oduya on that second pairing, but he will be back soon enough. So let's see how it goes. Dallas we beat. Same with Arizona. Great starts to the month there. And, well, Walters is a defensive defenseman putting up a point per game. That is interesting. As far as Pronger goes, apparently we didn't get a scouting report from. Okay, not sure what my scout's doing there. But, you know, it's kind of hard to control your scouts when you're kind of just going for a big, vast report to start things off. Offensive defenseman and Rankel could be interesting. I don't think we're going to be picking that high, though, to be completely honest. And where's the best goalie in this draft? Like, I haven't seen one yet. We're already at, like, pick 45, pick 50, right around there. So the goalies are, McCauley's way down there. Ross Reed could be a good goalie, especially if he is a high elite. And, well, the goalies are all over the place still. So we'll keep an eye on Adamski, too. I think he could be good. And then we finally lose to the Vancouver Canucks there. I believe it was a 3-2 loss, so a close one. But, again, that just stinks. You hate losing those close games, and they happen. So we get Magnus Oduya back. He bumps that second line up to a +3 in chemistry. Overall, you know, the team's producing pretty well. You can't really, but anyways, you can't really fault how the team's played up to this point. Even like the third line's playing all right. It's not playing fantastic, and Jordan Greenway has really been below average this year. Sure, he's not getting a ton of ice time, but he's got to put up better numbers than that, and 5 points in 25 games is just simply not good enough. So Michkov, 27 points in 25 games. Rossi's getting all the assists, and I would assume Ehlers is getting quite a few too. But it's really this top line that's performing and putting away a lot of points. Maybe not, actually. I guess they did miss Matthew Boldy. He has been the main point driver on that team. Sexton was out with mild injury, but he's back. Apparently we lost Graham Sword. Didn't know that happened. Okay, that was news to me. So, against the Leafs and Blue Jackets, we win 5-0 and 3-1. Then we lose to Carolina 5-3. So not exactly the greatest go there. Camp we could have claimed, but I didn't. And then we beat Vegas and then immediately lose to the Oilers. So, oh boy. Okay. Who's back? Moy. We'll put him back in the lineup. Believe he was playing right here, if I'm not mistaken. But he, again, for a first-round pick, has not really developed, and it's just unfortunate, to be honest. So, what is that offer, Washington? That was a sad offer. Oh, and we lose Oduya again. Okay, that's brutal. But we're 23-10-1 so far on the season. It's got to be one of the better records. Matvei Michkov, 29 goals in 34 games. He's got 39 points leading the team. And our 47 points in 34 contests is the best in the league currently. So we're right where I wanted to be heading into December. And, well, I got to get some more scouting done here. We're going to go through, and I'm just going to start picking out some players off camera, of course. But we are 8-2-0 to start off the season. So yeah, again, nothing to complain about with this team. They're in a very good position and really pushing us towards a playoff spot. So that's exactly where we wanted to be at this point. So, yeah, I'm just going to get a little bit more scouting done, then I'll be right back to do more simulation. Okay, so after doing a whole bunch of scouting, going through a process right now of trying to find the best players in the draft, obviously, but, well, let's get through January, as January should be hopefully a good month for us. This team has played well up to this point. Ooh, we lose Silverberg to an MCL sprain. Those ones suck, and there's no way around them because players don't get better from them very quickly. So, oh my, Oduya, what are you doing there, bud? Like, our whole defensive group has just put up, like, no points, which is unfortunate because, you know, I was expecting them to be a little bit better, but I guess they don't really have to contribute all that much either when, when the forwards look like this. So, I mean, yeah, there's no other way to really put it. Oh, God, okay, Greenway's been terrible. he might be a player that we look to trade as contracts become available. But wow, okay, talk about a strong start, and it's a really strong start. 4 games in a row, make it like at least a 6, if not 7 or 8 game winning streak. You gotta love how the team's playing right now. Oh, and we lose to Florida. They end our winning streak there. So that's unfortunate. Oh, and we lose Jake Neighbors to concussion too. What is going on? So many injuries. My goodness. All right, so multiple players are apparently ready to be dressed again on the team. Those players are, okay, Kuznetsov's almost ready. So let's swap him for Justin Hall. Actually, you know what? It's okay if we play him in one game. He should be fine. So, and we lose Sundin to an elbow injury. Okay, Kuznetsov's better, and he, definitely contributes there as, the team is starting to play better. We're winning lots of games, and there's no other way to put it. They're playing well. So, has Silverberg at least 17 goals? Is a lot. He doesn't really get assists, though, which is too bad, because I think if he could add that aspect to his game, I think there'd be a good chance. Did we claim Jujhar Khaira? That was my bad. I did not mean to do that. Okay. Whoops. Okay, Graham Sword. Okay, he's up to a 79. You gotta like that. Mayorov is a winger, so he should not be playing defense. And what is going on here? Let's go like that. Okay. No idea what's going on with the chemistry there, but that's okay. Just for Wallstead, 10 out of 16 games. That's better than he did last year already. So, yeah, I'm assuming he's going to have some pretty significant growth here in the upcoming year, and he'll be our goalie for the future. But 68 points through our first, 47, 48 contests in here. Make it, 48. Matthew Boldy leading the team, 57 points in just 40 games. He's over an assist per game. And 68 puts us second place to none other than the Pittsburgh Penguins. Okay, so Pittsburgh with a hot record. They've got an extra game in hand and 2 points. So, another team that's been really hot as of late is the Blues. They got 62 points. Same with the Blackhawks. So we're in a pretty tough division here still. It's not like there's a 10-point gap between us and the second place team or anything. It's only 6 points. So, yeah, let's see how the rest of the team's performing. I mean, Boldy has been absolutely red hot, but so has Matvei Michkov, over a point per game, Kaprizov, and Rossi right at a point per game. And then these guys just underneath as well. Foligno not having as good a year as I had hoped. But that's okay because, we do have other guys producing points at a better rate than him, and that's kind of keeping him around. So, Marco Rossi, again, has just been fantastic up to this point. 48 points, 48 games. He's rocking with a ton of assists right now. And I wonder if 39... we've got some high goal-scoring players here in Kuznetsov, Foligno, and Michkov. Those guys can put the puck in the net. No doubt in my mind about that. Hellebuck's got 22 out of 33, so he's been pretty hot too. But I'm just wondering, is anybody even close to scoring at this rate? Mark Stone has got 73 points. My goodness, that is way higher than I was expecting. But no, Michkov is still ahead of Ovechkin and ahead of Stone. He's just a pure goal scorer. He has all the stats and all the puck control and skating and everything to just go around defenders and make plays that a lot of other guys just can't do. So that's crazy. Tyler Boucher even is playing at a fantastic level right now for the Senators. But anyways, that is where we're currently sitting in December, and the team has looked absolutely red hot. So let's keep heading through this, trucking along into February. Let's see what we can do in the shortest month of the year, and if we could get a lot of wins, that would be nice. So we lose Fistrick to a broken nose out of all plays, and we go 2-1 to start, make it 2-2. Ooh, Lawrence breaks his ankle. That's not great. Okay, yikes. Okay, we do get Fistrick back finally, though, as he is just simply one of the best defensemen on this team. He's a left-handed right side defenseman, which I just find strange for a defensive defenseman. But what do you do about it, right? So, continuing on here, we lose to St. Louis pretty brutally, 7-5. But our team is still pushing for 40 wins before the trade deadline, which would be fantastic. And, well, we lose a couple more there. So we're 39, 17, and 2. Sitting with 80 points puts us third place in the league behind Pittsburgh. And now the Edmonton Oilers, who have heated up and become quite a good-looking team. So, okay. Matthew Boldy, 70 points in 50 games. You got to like that. Yeah, obviously he did miss some games. He's about 10 games behind the majority of the league right now. But it'd be really nice if some of our guys that haven't been hurt could put up more points than him. But, we're all our guys are sitting right around that point per game kind of mark. And it's solid. You cannot complain about it. But at the same time, guys like Jagger Foligno are kind of dragging it this year in comparison to last year. Like, he had 77 points in 78 games in his rookie year, and he just hasn't quite been the same this year. So, I mean, it could be a sophomore slump. That's very possible. But Boldy's really starting to heat up and put a lot of pucks in the net. And there's not much else you can say about that, really. Connor Hellebuck has been fantastic, winning 26 out of 40. But, all right, let's continue on here, get through March. Obviously, the trade deadline's in March, and I don't think we really need to pick up any pieces. This team is, of course, a unit, as Mikey said earlier. And, well, let's see what goes on here. There's going to be some trade deadline shenanigans, probably, but I don't see the need to really go out and try to acquire anybody or anything, so we're going to be a buyer, obviously. Let's see. Let's just see what's available on the trade block. I'm not actually expecting to pick anything up, simply because we just don't have enough cap space to really do so. But there's some interesting pieces on here for sure. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. I don't know if I really want any of these guys. Those are just like the top 10. As far as all available free agents go, obviously, there's going to be a lot of guys on here. I'm not surprised that we have Greenway on the block. He's kind of played atrocious up to this point, but yeah, no, it could have been better as far as what we've gotten, but our team hasn't played particularly terrible. So I just wonder if we could potentially see what Anthony Mantha's looking like. I don't know if he even fits our team. Pittsburgh makes a trade there. That's interesting. Supposedly Anthony Mantha fits all our forward lines. So I wonder, would it make sense to go out and try to swap Anthony Mantha in exchange for, like a Jordan Greenway? See, that's the thing is, I don't think Greenway's value is too far off from Mantha's, to be completely honest, but I'm not trading Jesper Wallstedt in a deal like that. That just doesn't make sense. The only thing with Mantha is if we do try to trade for him, we can't exactly move him immediately either, right? That's the thing. So, a guy like Guy Bonnet's looking really good too. Or Bonnet. Guy Bonnet. I like saying Bonnet. But there's no E at the end, so it is Bonnet. Guy Bonnet. But, yeah, that's the thing, is like they're just, we don't have a ton of prospects to really try and move around right now either, so is a goalie really the best option we have to trade? It would probably be Union over Wallstedt, but I don't think that's quite the right move, to be honest. I think we just hold on to the team. We're right up against the cap, and we have some one-year contracts, but at the same time, I'm pretty okay with what we're doing. So let's just exit here. I don't care what other trades get made. I like how our team is playing right now. I like where we're sitting. I think we can absolutely challenge for the Presidents. So Mantha gets traded to Los Angeles for a first-rounder, so that's interesting. But apart from that, we get some Iowa players ready to play again. That's good to see. And we don't really, to be honest. So going further ahead, Kuznetsov gets an injured stomach out of all plays. Not exactly the first injury you would think of when a guy goes down, but oh well. Graham Sword's back. I don't understand why the chemistry does this so consistently, but it does. I don't get it. Why is that negative? Well, it wasn't just negative, so I don't know why that is the case, but it is what it is. Par Ericsson's looking real nice as a defenseman, and he will hopefully be in the NHL next year. So, a couple more wins. We did beat the Oilers, which is a huge step in the right direction, but then we did lose a couple too. So, back to scouting. I'll be back in a minute, and hopefully we'll find some steals in here. Alright, so I am in the process of starting to narrow down but multiple prospects here. I think what the team is probably struggling with more than anything is just the fact that our centers aren't really the best players on this team yet. They're getting there, but they're not quite there yet. Is Michkov? Yeah, Michkov's well over 30 goals a season at this point. He's actually, 150 goals in 230 games. About. It's not quite, but it's pretty close. Ekblad's been below average. Everybody's been below average for what I was expecting, except for maybe Hellebuck, and Wallsted's been pretty darn good too, to be honest. So, alright, advancing further here. We beat Calgary after those 2 losses, and then we beat LA too. So, in a good spot. Nicholas Lawrence comes back, which is exactly what this team probably needed. He's just been battling through injuries. It's been ridiculous to watch, actually, but make it 3-game win streak before losing 8-2 to Colorado. All right, so Trey Weller's out, and we lose to Vegas because of that, and then we lose Justin Hall as well. So multiple injuries, but we get Trey Weller back, and he is in and ready to play. Okay. Yikes. Okay, lots of injuries going on here. So that ends off the month of March. We are sitting with a 50-20-4 record for 102 points. Again, just behind the Pittsburgh Penguins. They don't seem to lose games this year. So, who else is right on our tail? The Oilers and the Golden Knights are both right there. Colorado sits about 10 points back from us. Pittsburgh 1 point ahead. I mean, the Blue Jackets are right there as well. So, there's some good teams playing right now, but Matthew Boldy, 87 points in just 68 games? 65 games, wow. So Michkov has dropped off ever so slightly in production. Foligno, Kusnadinov, those guys dropped off a little bit too, but, we got 4 guys sitting around that 70-plus point mark, and I can't complain about it. The team is in a good spot. They're playing well. Jacob Krajicek is having a year, putting up 29 points in his NHL rookie season. Yeah, you gotta like that. Magnus Oduya has just struggled up to this point with this team. Connor Hellebuck, though, 34 wins on the season. You can't fault him for that. So these upcoming games are ever so important for us to try and win the Presidents. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 games left. If we could win all of them, that'd be great. A 58-win season would be fantastic, but I doubt that happens. So we immediately start off beating the Golden Knights and the Sharks. It's a good start. It's exactly what we wanted. But we're going to swap Pullman here for... Is Oduya healthy? Yeah, he is. Okay. Pullman's getting swapped for Oduya. Oduya is not healthy, actually. He looked healthy, and he was not. So we'll put Hall in for now. And, of course, now Oduya is healthy, because why wouldn't he survive one game? So, all right. We advance, beat the Rangers. We beat the... Oh, my God, we are winning lots of games right now. We beat the Predators, too. Islanders, beat them. We beat Colorado. Oh, my God, we're going on a run here. So, who even just came back? Bank here, I guess. That's fine. Arizona we beat. Winnipeg we beat. Hold on. Stop. I wanted to play that. I wanted to play that game against the Chicago Blackhawks, but it didn't happen, so we go 57, 21, and 4. 4, how many points? 118. Let's go. Beating out the Penguins by a single point. We go on a huge win streak there to end off the season. We must have been 9-1-0 because we beat the Penguins there, and then we went 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and lost 1. So yeah, we were 9-1-0 to end off the season. That is a hot Minnesota team heading into the playoffs here. So Wow, what a year that was. I don't think we had too much growth throughout the team, to be honest, but that's okay. Michkov up to a 92. You gotta respect that. Foligno up to a 90, so the youngins are shooting up, which is expected. Kuznetsov plays out of his mind for yet another season. Wallstead somehow has no growth, which again leaves me scratching my head because I thought he had a pretty good year. 17 points for Gavin Hunt apparently wasn't that good, so... after that, did we have any legit growth here? Okay, Koch grows up to a 64 overall. Guy Bonnet puts up 58 points in 56 games. Again, you gotta like that. Ow, motherfucker. Had an ant crawl all the way up to my arm and bite me on the wrist. So, anyways. Who else was pretty good? Leitonen was alright. But we didn't see too much crazy growth overall through the team. Like, nobody shot up to crazy ratings and was like, oh, okay, this guy's pretty much a shoe-in for the NHL now. Like, no, that just didn't really happen, unfortunately. So, yeah, that was a below-average growth year. But, you know, we still have some really good players that will be coming up in the system here over the next year or two. But... let's get to the statistical wrap-up here for this season. So, Minnesota finishes with a 57-21-4 record for a first-place President's Trophy winning finish over the Pittsburgh Penguins, who we beat out by a singular point and 0.7% of the entire points percentage that you can get in a season. So, that's pretty crazy, pretty good year there from our team. As far as the worst team in the league goes, the Islanders were just abysmal. Yeah, I'm not really surprised they don't have a crazy team there, but they should have probably been a little bit better than they were, so that's unfortunate. Buffalo, still just, hanging around the bottom of the league, unfortunately, even with 3 really good defensemen, and Luukkonen and a bunch of guys. Dallas was not good, Detroit, Arizona, even San Jose was just not there, so... our top point getter this year is Matthew Boldy with 102 points in just 74 games played. He was off the charts this year. Crazy amount of points. He's got 447 points in just 395 NHL games. It doesn't get much better than that. Marco Rossi, 90 points this season. Kaprizov scores 88. 86 from Michkov and 85 from Ehlers are all of our scorers there. 66 goals for Matvei Michkov on this season here. That was not quite as good as last year, but really darn close. So, can't complain about that at all as far as our goalies go. Connor Hellebuyck gets 40 wins on the year. That's a pretty big season from him, and it was what we were expecting. So, as far as the entirety of the league goes, I'm sure players outscored Boldy because he didn't play that much. So, Matthew Boldy actually finishes 3rd in all league scoring behind Connor McDavid and Jack Eichel. Go figure. Not really surprising, but yeah, that's a really good season, honestly. Kent Johnson has a great year too. Mark Stone also way up there for scoring, 101 points, and Draisaitl also gets 100. There's a lot of guys in here that were 90-plus points that, topped out guys like Rossi. Logan Cooley didn't have as good a year as before, but that's okay. Brendan Brisson had a great year. Matty Beniers, again, just another great Seattle player there. Seattle's got a legit team now, so your top goal scorer, though, is indeed going to be Matvei Michkov for the 2nd year in a row. He is just a goal-scoring machine, and that's all you can really say about him. Samu Heikkinen is playing fantastic for Pittsburgh for a 4th overall pick. Yeah, he's developing quite nicely. Apart from that, Foligno had 42, so he's up there as well. And as far as rookies go, Reginald Meurs, the 5th overall pick, looks like he's probably going to win the Calder this year. Miroshnichenko finally develops at the age of 22 and plays enough games to actually classify as a rookie, even though I'm pretty sure this is this is first real season that he played, and he scored 56 points. So yeah, he's up there now. Matthew Savoie also looking really good. Alan Marks also looking really good. My goodness, lots of good rookies in here this year. But Serge Kalum, what a Nashville team. Nashville's going to be scary here over the next couple of years. Gerard scores 25 goals. Was expected. Okay, so yeah, some pretty big named rookies up here in the top part of this draft, and yeah, that's just a really solid rookie class for goalies. Connor Hellebuyck gets beaten out by 1 win by Alec Nedeljkovic. Caden Primo, 84 rated. Wow, he had a great year. And same with Philip Gustafsson. Puts up 40 wins. That's insane, to be completely honest. So Hellebuyck only played 60 games, so if you give him another 5 games, I'm sure he wins a couple more, but he was right up there for one of the best goalies in the league. We really did not have anybody scoring at nearly as high a rate as any of these defensemen, but that's okay because Adam Fox and Charlie McAvoy are just simply stellar defensemen. Were they drafted in the same year? Yeah, they were. 2016 was a solid draft. So, Cale Makar, 56 points, not super high up there. I think we had a guy that was pretty close. I mean, Jirasek is on the Penguins too. My goodness, Pittsburgh is loaded. But maybe we didn't actually have anybody up here for scoring. Holy, Neil Fernandez is an 18-year-old. I mean, he did go 6th overall, so I guess he's going to be legit. But yeah, Ekblad only had 39 points, which is below average. So, all right, that is it for this episode. I know it was a pretty quick one, but man, it was a good episode too. So I do want to just kind of show you guys what we've been working with the draft here. I've been going mainly off of the potentials here, but looks like Gleason is guaranteed an elite player, so we will be taking him at the draft. He's at pick 87, so we'll line something up there. Braden Platt not looking terrible. Same with Hanu Kurvinen. So yeah, there's some legit players in here that will probably be decent in the future. Apart from that, I've been scouting Markstrom because he potentially has X factors, but he looks like he's not going to turn out. And yeah, there's just lots of guys in here that are like short ETAs and stuff like that, like Sean Byrne. He looks really good. Could potentially turn into something. Same with a guy like Nicholas Lundin. Not that we really need right-wing snipers. Actually, he might be, yeah, he's a two-way forward, so maybe he's worth going out and acquiring, especially if we don't finish top of the league, but that's what I'm expecting to finish at. So Jalen Lotz, not the greatest there, obviously. Gleason is going to be. Christian Rankel is now showing as a two-way defenseman, but could be, again, another very nice Swedish defender that we've already brought in a couple of them. So apart from that, this Scavello guy is a 1-year ETA, so I'm expecting him to be at least a little bit better than what he's shown up to this point. Like, I don't think he's AHL top 6 potential. I think he's better than that, so we will keep an eye on him too. He's right around pick number 70 or so, but the scouting is showing otherwise. So apart from that, not crazy here for a draft, but that's what we're dealing with. So anyways, that's where we're going to wrap it up for this episode. Next episode, we will be taking on, who's it going to be? And it's the Seattle Kraken out of all teams. Okay, so that's going to be a fun one. I mean, Seattle has kind of had our number, to be honest. They beat us in games where I'm like, oh yeah, we got Seattle, and then they win. And it's like, okay, I didn't know that was going to happen, but interesting lineup here in Seattle for sure. I mean, Logan Cooley and Matthew Beniers is a crazy good 1-2 punch down the middle that we are probably going to struggle to keep up with, but at the same time, their defense is nowhere near our level, and their goaltending is injured. So I'm expecting a slightly easier series here in round 1. I don't know exactly where the Kraken finished, but we should probably go and check that out. As they had some players like Cooley and Beniers are legit. They're good players, but Seattle finished 12th place. Okay, so they're not the worst team in the playoffs. That would be the Tampa Bay Lightning and Toronto Maple Leafs, which doesn't sound right in this day and age, but whatever. Things might age well, and of course the Wild were just simply the best. So There is absolute expectation to sweep the Kraken in round 1. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they'll win at least one game with the players that they have, but the injured goaltending should also be a walk in the park for us. So that's where we're going to wrap it up. If you guys enjoyed this one, make sure to go down below, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the notification bell. And also, let me know, how is the lighting? Because I did change up my lighting setup a little bit, and I think it's better. But that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time.